Now to operating the system. The way you operate the system is you have your main power source right here, which is basically everything's on except the amplifier. The amplifier is the last piece to power on all the time. So you just press this, everything will power up, and then what you do is you power on your amplifier last. You'll notice that I have the volumes down low. They can be adjusted. If you're in a room that's really loud, give you an example. Let's listen to this. This is the normal hiss that you hear from a speaker. Now let me go ahead and turn up the volume in the amplifier. See how it gets louder? That's more than acceptable. If you're in a room that's pretty loud, you're not going to hear it, and especially with music, you're not going to hear it. So going back down to where I had it, that's the master volume. Then your secondary volume is right here. You'll notice that it gets less noise when I go up and down, which is alright. I have it right around here to start off with. The music will go low. Then the next is these. These are your controls. If you notice, I have these basically at 9 o'clock. It basically means I'm allowing that much of the volume to get into the mixer. Then you'll notice these two channels here are less. You could always increase that if you want. And the way you work this is you have a corded microphone that you can use. You just plug it right in here and turn this on. Keep this really low because this thing's very sensitive. And you can use that for DJing, just talking if you want. It's just an extra. You have the corded mic inside of a box. Then what I did was I put temporary stickers here for you. They're just those little post-it pads. You could go ahead and go to the store and get a label maker and do whatever you want to make it look nice and so forth. So the first one, you'll notice I have the karaoke player set up on 1, which is your Cavs karaoke player. Then I have your CD player on channel 2, which is this CD player. You just have a single deck, pop in the disc, and go ahead and play it. Then on the third channel, you'll notice that I have it flipped over to mic, and it says iPod mic, meaning you could hook up a laptop to this channel or a smartphone that you want to play music off of and so forth. And all you have to do is whenever you want to use this for a computer or anything, just flip it to line 4, and that's it. But most of the time you're going to have mic 4 and mic 5, which is actually your 2 microphones for your wireless, and that's how you'll run the 2 microphones. And like I said, you'll switch over when you want. You'll notice that each channel has effects assigned. I only have the 2 set here because that's what I want the echo on. And if you notice, the echo is on here and it's set. That means you'll get the echo through the microphones and so forth. And of course you have your highs, mids, and lows. You also have a zone, which means right back here there's an output that says zone. If you ever had a powered subwoofer, you could put an RCA into like a 1/4 inch into a powered sub and run it through there. Or if you just got a little powered speaker that you wanted to use for more sound, you could do that as well. Then also you have your headphones, where you just plug in your headphone jack. It's already over to Q, which means you're the only person that's going to hear it. So let's say you're on the karaoke player, and you want to listen to a CD to see if song 3 is actually the song you want. You press this Q button. That allows you to listen to it. So you turn that up and you'll hear it in your headphones. But always make sure to turn it off when you're done. Now your fader. If you see, I have it set to channel 1 and channel 2, which is I'm going to fade between your karaoke player and your CD player. Okay, now as far as hooking up the Cavs player, when you hook it up, the drive is not hooked up. You hook up the drive last. This is what you'll see on the screen. Cavs logo says no disc. Now what you do is once that's done, you go to the back of the system, and there's a cable right here, and all you do is you just plug it in. Once you plug it in, you should notice the drive. The light is going to go in and out. Now, because it's basically a player that's faking like it's a computer, it does have restrictions. So what it's going to do is it's actually going to take the time to load up, and once it loads up, it's going to pop up on the screen that you have a box to go in for your karaoke songs. Now, until that pops up, we'll go ahead and talk about something else here. You notice that these are rechargeable. They're already in the base with rechargeable batteries. It only has enough clearance for you to do this. You want to lift slightly and tilt forward. You still have a 1/4 inch clearance, but I will tell you this, someone goes in there and go, boom, they're going to pop it up on here and put a scratch on it, but chances are it won't damage it anyways. And you always want to make sure the switch is pointed forward, and you'll feel the tension as it's charging. So if you notice, the green light in front, when I set it in there, it starts to charge it. I already have these set, so you don't have to worry about it. The fan is just going to basically pull air through to circulate it to make it better. The player, I have a little bit of styrofoam back here. You'll see that just makes it snug. But if you ever want to load music, I would suggest you take a laptop, sit it next to there, and plug the drive into the computer. Now look, this is what comes up. You have root, recycle, and songs. You want to go into the song folder. The root and recycle means nothing. It's just registering what the drive has on it. Now, one of the biggest mistakes people make is when you're looking at the screen, you start pointing at the screen, which no matter how many times I do this, I still sometimes accidentally point at the screen. You always want to point this remote, basically pointing right to the sensor. So what you do is you hit the down arrow on your remote, and you'll see that it goes to the songs, and you press enter. You'll notice that that disappeared. Now this box comes up, shows how many songs you have in. So what you do is you just press the song number you want, and press enter. Now it's going to start playing. You know that it's here. Now remember what I said. If you want your music to be louder, and you got a lot of people there, all you got to do is you can adjust right here a little bit. See how much louder that gets? You could even adjust down here. And then when you want to play your CD, start to play, fade over. So now you faded over to your CD. And that's pretty much it. I mean, there's going to be things that you'll need to learn on your own. If you want to illuminate the front, you'll notice that it has the illumination. I would tell you to have this all the way down so it's off, and then when you need it, you just turn it up and you can see. This is your voltage meter. The voltage meter basically means that if it's within this range, 117 to this range, you're fine. But if that thing goes below like 110 or something, or goes above 135, then you might have a flux in the electricity and you want to be able to turn it off. This is just an extra outlet. If you want to plug something in the front, you're good to go. And that's pretty much it. You'll notice on the side here, there's clips. All you have to do is you take your lid that has the legs, you fold those out, and you take the other end and you just clip it on. You can clip it on both sides. And that's pretty much your system.